The situation is that Reuben had a name come to him in several different ways, including the meaning of its expression for naming his daughter. So that's your daughter's soul trying to give you the message, say, come on Dad, it's got to be this, making blatantly clear this is what it wants. You see, when my son was named, we used the system to try and work out a name so his karma would be minimized and his potential would be maximized. And so actually, we didn't have the middle name, but in the ward across from his mum, there was a Spanish lady, and she called her son Jonah. And my wife heard that, and she said, "That's the name, Nicolas. Go and check it." And because we've been trying for months to get this name right, and we tried it, and it was perfect. It gave him maximum power to burn through his karmic patterns, so we have a life that will be graceful and easy, which is what he's had after nearly 15 years, rather than having a struggle. So it was really obvious to us because you couldn't miss it. Same idea. Okay. Any other questions? Where your mother forgot the name, okay, it means the soul probably blanked her out because it actually wanted your grandmother's name. And so you are carrying, when you get the exact same name as an ancestor, you're actually carrying on the karmic pattern to work it through. That's why if you're junior or third or fourth or fifth, like you have in America, that's really tough because you've got maybe 4 or 5 of them behind you processing their emotional stuff, which is a real load. Okay, so you can become pretty dysfunctional by the time you get to the 4th or 5th. So your soul did that, and if you were adopted, or you had another name change, that's not like another layer of icing on the cake of your birth chart, so you have a different experience. Okay, so it's going to transform what's in the cake in the birth chart, and so your life will go through different phases when you use different names. I changed my name about 6 years ago to the current one from Nicolas Ngan, my birth name, to Nicolas David Ngan. Then all this other stuff started happening, like publishing a book, getting out in the world, and I get to travel around, run workshops, and go on TV shows, all sorts of stuff which never used to happen, but because the name enabled me to work through my issues much more quickly and attracted the right people and situations to do what I do. Language that was intended at the time, even if there was a mistake, that mistake's not a mistake.
That's the name I'm supposed to go by.
That's the name that will tell you what your primary soul contract is. That if you've moved and your name's pronounced differently, say here or in France, the soul planned that as well. Okay, because that set of frequencies is actually helping you grow in a very specific way. What happens is that the soul is making sure it gets the core latent potential laid down. Okay, so it's not really fatalistic. It's a fair comment though. Basically what you're doing is you're laying down latent potential for the lifetime. You press go, and the soul sits back and says, well, what's going to happen now? Because you as a personality are in charge, and you've got to decide, will I flow with my contract, if you're conscious of it, or will I just do what my ego wants to do, which usually leads to disaster, as most of you know. Okay, and so the actual experience of each person's life is not predetermined. It's just a general direction which the contract will show you where you can go. Because the whole point of it is because spirit, each of us is a spark of God consciousness. We're actually the creator creating in a very specific way. And the creator wants to learn more about, say, empowerment with someone who's got very disempowered in a relationship. And the process of living life viscerally is the creator learning about power again. The creator's not creating out there in the universe doing its thing, and we're just sort of little blobs doing our little thing. We are the creator creating through our lives. And it's the rich mix of what we do in each moment, which is creation creating. That's actually what's going on. And the creator doesn't put anything in place that it doesn't know. If it knows about it, there's no point in doing it. So your individualized experience, however you wish to live your life, is the creator learning more about itself. And that's stored in the Akashic records, which is the memory of the creator creating. Okay, so you have total free will to do what you wish with this. But if you learn what your contract is and follow it, then life will take on a completely different light. It will flow much more because you won't be doing the things which don't work. Reuben, once you've set the contract in place and incarnated, can you change it part-way through? No, you can't. It's hardwired. There's no money. You don't get there's no money back guarantee. You've got to stick it out till you ascend or we physically die. But if you're conscious of the contract and apply the knowledge which this work gives you in terms of how you work through it, then life will flow more easily. If you optimize your name, okay, with the right frequencies to break through the contract a lot quicker and get you to the deepest soul goals, what happens is your life will accelerate and become something completely different. So you can change it that way.